Oh, sorry guys. So, hi guys. Really important day today. I'm not joking when I'm telling you that I will go in today, no matter what's going to happen with the CPI data. Even though CPI is coming out here in 10 minutes and it will have a huge effect on the markets, this is not the reason why I'm going all in. And I'm telling you, there is no time left, only a little bit of time. We need to get in right now. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome back. We jump directly into the CPI data here. So I just want to recap what happened here last month. Last month, CPI came in 0.1% lower than expected, and also a decline of 0.1% from year to year, from June to June, over a 12 months period. So for today, we are also expecting a lower number. So last month, CPI came in at 3%. I can tell you, if we get today lower than 3%, that this will first of all guarantee a rate cut for the next month, but it will also start a massive pump for crypto, because the market will understand that there is no reason anymore to hold back and everybody will start throwing money at everything. But this is not the only conclusive data that I have, that we are potentially witnessing here in 8 minutes, a massive pump. Also, the rate cut outlook will potentially change depending on the CPI data. Let's say CPI comes in at 2.8 instead of 3. This will potentially change the odds in terms of how much bips we are going to cut next month. Right now, there's a 55.5% chance that we are getting a 50 bip rate cut, and 44.5 that we just get 25 bips. So, but this will increase massively if we get CPI in under 2.8%. If it comes in at 2.9 or exactly 3, then I guess we are getting a 25 bips rate cut, which will be still fine. It will still pump the markets like crazy, and we will still have a lot of happy days here. Now, the DXY is also breaking to the downside. Remember, guys, we were talking about this for a long time. We had here this rising wedge pattern. It finally broke to the downside. Now, the next level that we need to look at is here the 102, more or less, 102 points, and then here 101.5. Once this level is broken here, and we are moving in direction of 100 points, this will, in my opinion, kickstart the altcoin season that we are all so much are waiting for. So we're not far away from this, you know, so it will still take 2 weeks, 3 weeks potentially until we are getting there. But guys, the most important thing is we are finally getting there. This is what we want to see. Also, don't forget, guys, if you don't have money right now, especially with a huge pump around the corner like this, you need to go to exchanges that are throwing around free money, like Hotcoin right now. If you sign up and deposit $100, they give you $20 absolutely for free for trading, and it's better than nothing, guys. You know, so just take whatever you can get right now. The link is in the description for that. So here, the money supply in the global money supply is also breaking out here over the last couple of months and is increasing. And usually when this money supply is increasing, we are going into a so-called fun zone, and that is a zone where it means risk on all assets. Bitcoin starts to go absolutely bananas when you see the M2 money supply increasing. And because of the quantitative easing that's happening now until the election, you just the only thing that you're going to see is that this just keeps going higher and higher and higher. And guess what? What's with Bitcoin and all the other coins going to happen? The money has to go somewhere. So where it's going? In stocks and crypto to prop up the markets for us. The ETF inflows yesterday were also again positive and a half increase. I expect nothing less today here for Bitcoin, but really interestingly, the Ethereum ETF inflows were also positive yesterday. So here, over 9,000, almost 9,000 Ethereum. Grayscale is still selling, but also here I have good news. They have only 20% left. So a really small amount is left for them to sell, maybe another 2 weeks if they keep selling at this rate, and then they are out of their ETHE. And that will be really, really good, because then we all know what's going to happen, you know. So then actually Ethereum will finally start to move here back to the upside. So now we will have a brief look at Bitcoin. You see here into CPI, Bitcoin is already rallying here on the daily chart. Remember guys, I told you most likely this death cross here will be a fake out. It looks like that this is exactly playing out as we were talking about it. The 50 moving average is turning around here already. The 200 is in a kind of aggressive angle here to the upside. So, but nonetheless, by early next week, in the worst case, we should get a golden cross, and that will put Bitcoin already at that point around 63, 64, potentially even $65,000 in my, all the way up potentially to like 64, 800, something like this, when we get the golden cross here. So it's really, really important that you understand something that I'm going to show you here in a second, why we have not a lot of time left to position ourselves, not only in Bitcoin, but also in altcoins. I had this chart shown a while back, and I looked at it yesterday by accident when I was sitting in a restaurant, and I was like, wait a second, this fracture is playing out to the T. We only had here this outlier, but otherwise we are following it to the T here. It's insane. So let me just see here if I zoom in a little bit that you can, let me actually turn this into candles. That's a little bit more visible for you. Look at this here. We started down here. We pumped, which normally we shouldn't have, but you can attribute that to the ETFs. Then we got this massive fake out, which was the bear trap in the Wall Street cheat sheet cycle here. Remember, when I go here all the way over there, then down here was the last one. And we all know what happened afterwards. Afterwards, we got a massive, massive run here. And now, look, we are following this here over the last 3 days exactly accordingly to this fractal. So that potentially we are closing today around $63,500. That's definitely in the cards, guys. If CPI comes out here in 2 minutes, way, way lower than everybody is expecting it, that could lead to a massive pump in Bitcoin. So, and I would not exclude the possibility that we are pumping it to $63,000, $64,000. It will potentially be a little bit lower, like 62,500, 62,800, but I just don't want to rule it out. And then here tomorrow we should normally get a bigger pump and a bigger pump. But let's see how this is going to play out. For now, we are following this for the last 3-4 days, but I want to see a little bit more data here to be really, really sure that we are more or less following this. But I see it more like a red string, you know, like the stock to flow model, where we are kind of following it. We don't have to follow it like dollar by dollar exactly, but kinda. And you see the upwards trajectory here. Now we have 1 minute left. You see, we're also trying now on the daily chart here, this downward sloping trend line, to potentially not only retest it, but also to break it, depending on what's happening here in a minute. The underlying resistance here flipped now today into support. Oh, come on, I don't like this like this. So I switch the color, and then we go to the CPI side to check what's going on with the data. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Oh, Bitcoin pumping. So I guess, let's see. Yeah, small pullback. Let's see, what is CPI today? No data yet. Come on. July. Somebody can write in the chat if you find it somewhere else, but normally here on the website, there's nothing yet. So Let's see here in the chat, guys. I have to look at the other screen, you know. And don't forget to like the video, guys. You know, the more people like the video, the more people are able to see the live stream, because YouTube will push it to the front page. So go and destroy the like button in the meantime while we are waiting here for the CPI, because it's still not out. Maybe it's on Twitter. Let me see here on Twitter. Because now 1 minute after, so we should get here. What's the CPI data? 2.9. Yeah, amazing. 2.9. So 2.9 is amazing. Under 3 under 3. So let Bitcoin pull back here a little bit. I expect that here in like 10-15 minutes we get a nice pump in Bitcoin to the upside, because it's under 3%. That is a guarantee for a rate cut next month. So if you are looking for a trade, I will give you some entries for that on Bitcoin. See here yesterday the trade setup that I had given here with the diamond pattern. There you see we broke out. We almost hit now the technical target of it. We got close here already. We missed it by like $200 or something, or even less. Yeah, $200. We missed by $200. So if you're in that trade, remember, guys, I said this trade is quite risky, but if you're still in it, it's fine. If you took it, if you're not in it, don't take it. You know. So, but also what I want to point out here, you see my Elliott wave count was correct. We were seeing this exactly the right way here. So luckily I get better at this, because Elliott wave is not my forte normally. So, but I like to play around with new things, you know, so you always should keep learning. And that's why I was playing around with this. And for now, it looks like that I kind of get the hang of it. So let Bitcoin pull back a little bit. It's the normal shakeout that we are getting after such news, because the market needs to digest this. And once it's digested, then we get the really nice pump to the upside. And we should also not forget, I'm not sure if there is a conference later for this, or if they just announce selective interest rates, because there's in the US in a little bit less than 8 hours, there is a Fed at least announcement or something for selective interest rates. So it's possible that that somebody speaks about that. I will keep an eye on that. So, but most importantly, yeah, 2.9. That's why we get a nice pump here. So also here on the 1 hourly chart, we are here in a big consolidation phase on that bullish pennant here, or symmetrical triangle, however you want to see that. And we are about to break out here. And you see that because we had a nice pump here today already to the upside. Now we are here also in a bullish pennant. I just will make this here in a second another color. Come on. So let me change the color. So we just try to break out of it. If we're not breaking out right now, I expect that we are breaking out with the next 1 hourly candle here to the upside. And the target is, let me actually get the target. The conservative target. This is the conservative target that I'm looking at here. If we're breaking out right now, it's $67,150 would be the technical target here. Now on the weekly chart, we are also retesting the 20 moving average currently. If we get a close this week above that, the next target will be all the way up here, $67,370. And that is again in alignment with the 1 hourly chart pattern that I have just shown you. So that might give you a really nice entry for that overall trade here on the weekly chart, and potentially even higher, because when we come up here to $67,400, imagine we break through that and start going higher from there. So you definitely want to make sure that you get as close as possible at current levels into a trade. So I would open a trade kind of like here. That would be a good setup. So then you see here, you have 8.5% to the upside, 1.93% of a stop loss. Your entry is at $62,000 approximately. And then you can trade this to the upside. Just wait for a 30-minute close above that downward sloping resistance line currently before you are entering this at the entry level. So when, even if we are at 62, you know, it could be that we are getting here 130 minutes kind of going up, 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 up. You don't want to enter there. You know, you want to make sure that that kind of closes at least above the downward sloping resistance line, and best case scenario above $62,000, comes down for a retest and then starts sending to the upside. Now guys, again, if you're looking for more money, I give here every week twice $500 away on ZoomX. I did it already once on Saturday. I will do it again tomorrow. If you want to stand a chance to win here $500, you only need to deposit $100. You get $10 just for signing up, and you have an insurance on the $100 if you trade with it. You know, so you have until the 26th of August, if you trade with $100, here the insurance coverage of ZoomX, that you basically don't lose these $100. And again, guys, if you remember the last live stream, I showed you that I made out of $400 $3,000. So if you divide this now by 4, then I would have made out of $100 $750. So you can make good money with small amounts, guys. You know, so, and why should you not do it if you basically cannot lose? You know, so ZoomX will refund you if you lose that $100. So go to the link in the description, guys. Because they are an amazing sponsor. They have invited me to crazy, crazy things. It's insane, you know, so I really, really love them right now. Then here on the daily chart, we have one of the reasons why we are not going higher currently is because we're struggling with the EMA ribbon and with the VPVR, with the volume traded area here. But nonetheless, once the market has digested the information of the CPI data, I expect that we get a potential retest here to $63,300. I believe that this is definitely in the cards here over the next 48 hours. So have an eye on that. Here, the most important thing what you want to see is that we are closing a candle above the EMA ribbon before we get continuation to the upside. Because if we do it just in one candle, it's not really healthy for the market. You want to see candle close like this, and then the next one going up like this, or even here some sideways move and then to the upside. But overall, the indicators telling us that Bitcoin is still ready to go higher here. The MACD is flipping bullish. We are having right now here a buy signal if we close the candle at current prices. And also the RSI is pointing to the upside here, now in bullish territory above 50%. So also there, still a lot of bullish momentum that we are seeing here. Plus that we have a lower high, potentially a higher low, higher low over here from the low over here. Now on the 4-hourly chart and the liquidation levels, here the EMA ribbon flips finally into an uptrend again. Now Bitcoin needs to move a little bit higher so that we can keep that uptrend. You see also the 50 moving average on the 4-hourly chart is going to the upside, which means that also here by next week we get our golden cross. Yeah, next week will be the golden cross. It could coincide with the golden cross on the daily, you know, so don't have also an eye on that, because it could coincide with that, and that would make the pump even stronger for Bitcoin if you see both happen at the same time. It's really, really rare that it happens, but when it happens, guys, you have no idea. That there's a God candle, you know, it's really like a God candle pumping to the upside. So when it comes to the liquidation levels, right now in terms of attractiveness, it looks like price wants to move a little bit higher here, like I said, into the $63,000 area, because here is right now the closest area of liquidity. It makes no sense to move the price here down again under $60,000 to grab liquidity. So rather, market makers and the bad players in the market want to move price up, which is first of all good for us, but what they're after is just the liquidity. They don't care where the price is, they care where the biggest liquidity is. Right now it's to the upside. You also see that here on the liquidation heat map. So there is a small area below us here that has built up over the last 24 hours, but look also here at $62,000, there's also a high concentration of liquidity. And I believe if we are moving up here into 62, we go all the way up to 62,500 and take here the whole area out, and potentially even higher here into the $63,000 level, as I just mentioned. Because if we go into the higher time frames, like the monthly, you're gonna see, come on, load, that here, this is the area. This is the imminent area that will be taken out, in my opinion. Now, in terms of alternative entries, remember here with the MDX algo gradient, they're helping me a lot to understand if I want to enter a position or not. So right now you see here, there is a small supply zone. That's also why the Bitcoin price is struggling to move a little bit higher. We are not overheated yet on the gradient. We are still looking good here. We are above the daily open. That is here, this DO, daily open. That is also always a bullish indication when we are above that. And the super trend has flipped green again and will act as support if we would come down here to like the $59,500 level. Also, the reactor oscillator, as I mentioned, when we are coming down here into this cool off phase, we will then from there push again to the upside, and that will also reflect into a pump. I was just talking about this yesterday. So here, if you would have taken a trade around 59,000, let it be $600. So yeah, so that was basically here. If I draw here a line, that was the moment just before the pump, because the reactor indicator pointed then to the upside slightly. You would have made here really, really good money with this indicator. Again, guys, you get 10% if you use the link that I negotiated with the founder of MDX Algo. I use that on a daily basis. Also for altcoins, I'm going to show it to you here in a second, that I made some altcoin trades based on the indicator. So it's really, really a money maker, guys. Really, really amazing. The Bitcoin dominance, now we get into altcoins, got a small pump here yesterday to the upside. I'm not too concerned with the dominance right now. Remember, I said it would be healthy if the dominance will come down a little bit, then get into consolidation, and then we get another follow through to the downside. This is more or less what we are seeing right now. I would like the dominance to go a little bit lower, just for the fact that Bitcoin is going up, and I would finally like to see a nice day where Bitcoin is going up, the dominance is coming down, altcoins are exploding. So I know we are not far away from that day, but yeah, I'm a little bit impatient here. I'm gonna have a look here in the chat, guys, while we are writing so much. I just want to have a quick look here, because I cannot remember when I had so many messages here last time. Let me see here. 2.9, 2.9. Yeah, I'm gonna cover some of the altcoins that were posted here. So that I prepared them. So I will only go through what I prepared, and maybe I do one or two that you write later in the chat, not right now, but potentially later. So let's get into Ethereum, guys. Ethereum also breaking above the 0.5 level here, $2,741. I hope a lot of you guys got in here at 2,587 when I called it, because here I can also tell you this looks like a really, really, really delayed V-shaped recovery that's here in progress. Most of the coins have already done a V-shaped recovery, but not Ethereum. Ethereum has not completed a V-shaped recovery, and the V-shaped recovery will be only completed when we get to $3,150 approximately. So it's not too late to get into Ethereum if you want to open here trade, but be warned, don't do it before we get a daily close above the 0.5 level. The RSI is telling us that there's also still more momentum to the upside, at least into the golden ratio. And what I would do if I would now get into a trade here around the 0.5 level is I would set my I would raise my stop loss and trail it on the way up. So let's say we hit the golden ratio, $2,900. My stop loss would be now $2,820 or something like that, 3% below current prices, just to make sure that if it turns against me, then I'm protected, will not lose any money, walk away with a little bit of money. A little bit is better than nothing, and then potentially find a new entry before we are sending higher. So, but I believe that Ethereum, because of Grayscale selling so much of their fund that they have, is suppressed here. And once that suppression is lifted for like a split second, believe me, you're gonna see a candle like this to the upside, like a 10-15% candle on Ethereum really, really quickly. One of the coins that I'm looking at right now that are correlated to Bitcoin is Stacks. Remember guys, when Bitcoin is pumping, Stacks is pumping, because you can also mine Stacks. We're currently here under resistance, again coming from the MDX algo, that resistance level. See here how that coin is struggling to break above that, but here on the 1 hourly chart, everything is in alignment for a move higher. So once I see here that we are breaking $1.56, which is just 1 cent away from current prices, this becomes a good entry for me. So with a stop loss down here, risk to reward ratio, I need to adjust this a little bit. So this will be most likely become my target. So 12.6% more or less risk to reward ratio, 1 to 3.4, absolutely worth it. So that is the next trade here on Stacks that I would be looking out for to the upside. So, and the other reason for that is also that we have here a massive, I don't know for how many weeks, this downward sloping trend line is going on. That is definitely the next target that price is attracted to. And also here you see with the MDX algo, we have a supply zone, hence resistance in that area here. So, but Stacks also likes to create a lot of wicks. So I can imagine that we get a wick here above the downward sloping trend line before we then come back down and have then here a deviation and consolidate before we get then the proper move to the upside. One coin that is going absolutely nuts today is Telegram. I was talking about this for the last 2-3 days and gave you multiple entries where you could have entered this. I entered it actually quite late. I entered at $6.56. No, I added the last time at $6.56. So that's what it was. So yeah, so that's where I added the last time. So that was here. So when I saw this red candle coming up and touching $6.56, that's when I entered, and the next candle was immediately pumping above this, and then it basically did not stop. Now we are even above the 200 moving average. I believe we will come down here a little bit to consolidate, and it will give you the possibility, if you're not in a ton trade yet, to take this setup that I had given a couple days ago. Here at $6.86, that is roughly a 4% move to the downside. We pumped 12% to the upside today. So if we get a 4% corrective move, that's absolutely fine before we get continuation. So here that will be the next entry level for Telegram. You also see the indicators here on the 4 hourly chart overextended here on the stochastic RSI. Also the RSI starts to point it to the downside. Only the MACD is bullish, and current price action is still kind of bullish. You know, if you look the overall structure and how the moving averages are looking, that is still looking bullish, but momentum is telling you we are pulling here back now a little bit. So, and if the pullback gets all the way to $6.86, $6.87, that will be a golden opportunity to enter here and trade this then all the way up to $7.56. Another one that I had on my radar that started pumping yesterday was RUNE. Also RUNE here facing currently resistance in that area that we are in. If we come down a little bit, also not the end of the world. I believe that we would come back down here to that blue line at $3.50. That is most likely the area that we are pulling back, and from there you also get continuation into the golden ratio all the way up here, $4.20, $4.09 to $4.15. That is the area that price is definitely attracted to here to the upside. But also here, cool down phase first based on the indicators before we get continuation. And before I forget it, guys, on Bybit also, if you have another $100, deposit them on Bybit, you get $500 there absolutely for free for an airdrop position. You can trade all the coins that are over here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Pepe, Doge, or the Arbitrum, Jupiter, and so on and so on. Really easy. You deposit the $100, you claim the airdrop voucher, you use the airdrop voucher, and all the profits that you make out of the $500 are yours. The only thing what you cannot do is try to withdraw the $500. I can tell you, if you try, you lose them. You know, it's gone. You will not get them back. You know, so just trade with it, make profit, take the profit. Now Solana, that trade that I gave here a couple days ago is already running away. So look here, we have also here an ascending triangle that we start to break out of. I would be not so sure if I trust this because it's way too early for a breakout, so that might pull back. You can risk it to enter here currently, if you were not entering here at the golden ratio that I called for a while, when we were up here, that's when I called it and said, if we pull back into the golden ratio, take the trade from there. So if you're not in that trade, you can technically enter right now, but your stop loss need then to be here at the golden ratio. So that is a 2% stop loss, and you can still make then to the upside. How much is this? Roughly 16%. So this is still a really, really good risk to reward ratio if you want to take the trade on Solana. But also here, stochastic about to be heavily overbought. MACD is absolutely bullish and smashing it, the RSI also. So I would ignore the stochastic for the time being. But yeah, you need a daily, you need a candle close above the ascending triangle to enter this, or a pullback into the golden ratio. That would be also the last opportunity to get in for you. Then Injective also, trade was given here at $18.10 approximately. We also broke here out of that symmetrical triangle. Here also, you see here something across all altcoins that does not change, and that is that all of them are trading, or most of them, above the 50 moving average on the 4-hourly chart, and all these 50 moving averages start to point to the upside. So, and all of them also are in alignment for a bullish crossover by late this week, like Saturday, Sunday, or like Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So here in this case, this would be Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and it also aligns with the downward sloping trend line, which is giving us massive resistance in alignment with a golden cross. So if we're getting the golden cross here on this inflection point, I'm pretty sure we are going to break through this, and then the next target for Injective would be immediately $26 in my opinion. So be prepared and watch here Injective for next week. If you're looking here for a trade, you can take one if you missed it at $19.62 when we are above that resistance level here, and it's giving us currently resistance. But when we get here to the upward sloping trend line and we are not having a golden cross yet, or for some weird reason we start to go down again, then be a little bit more careful and raise your stop loss somewhere here around the $20 mark, just to protect yourself if it goes against you, if we fail to break that resistance. But if we go higher, then of course next target $26 and beyond that. Then the last one is AVAX. So I'm currently in an AVAX trade. I actually wanted to show this here on my Bybit account, but I'm gonna do it here now. I'm in slight profits, not massive profits. Let me see. So I'm up like $200 on this trade currently. Yeah, roughly $200. Yeah, 250. I took the trade from $21. What is it here? 50. That's where I took the trade. Some people would say, even myself would usually say, that was a little bit stupid because here's that big supply zone that is giving us resistance. But on the 1 hourly time frame, we are looking quite bullish. And I think on the daily, there was also still room to go to the upside. Yeah, on the daily, I saw here the potential MACD buy signal that's coming in, and that the RSI is still under 50%. So even though the stochastic is here a little bit overbought, we are not on the daily above the 50 moving average. We are getting a buy signal. The RSI is not super bullish yet, but on the way to it because we're going into the upside. So I thought I'd take that risk because the first imminent target will be here at horizontal level of $24.85 and then the 50 moving average. And that is also slightly trying to turn around here already, which is also telling me that we get potentially a nice pump here really, really soon. And we are above that downward sloping trend line here for the first time since when? Since 3 weeks ago. So that is a 3 weeks long downwards correction that we finally broke above. If we close today as it is, should lead to continuation to the upside, hence why I took the trade on AVAX. So now Let me have a, let's see here quick. So let's get rid of this. Oh wow, we had a nice spammer here. I'm almost, that's impossible, guys. There's something wrong with your audio, you know. So it's not me, guys. It's not me, 100%. Okay, let me do quick tier, and then I will run. Let me just see on which chart I can pull up tier. I think I'm gonna load a new one. This one here. Let me do it here on this one. Tier. Where do I have tier? Tier not pumping. Is tier correcting today? Yeah, that's what I thought, Maverick. You know, so I actually made it today a little bit louder because last time a lot of people complained that I was not loud enough, and then I checked it with my phone, with my computer, everything. The sound was fine. You know, of course, I had to max out the phone to have like proper sound, but if I maxed out my phone, it was fine. You know, so tier on the daily. I like that we're above the 50 moving average here, but I don't like how the stochastic is looking, but the MACD is looking good, but the RSI also tries to make here like a turn to the downside. So on the daily, I would say a little bit more consolidation before we move here to like $7.62, but let's see what the lower time frames are saying. Yeah, here we are already correcting, but we're about to get a golden cross here faster than on some other altcoins. So here we are getting a golden cross this week at some point. So this might be happening on Saturday. So I will keep an eye on that like Friday, Saturday, because that might be a good trade here. And I would potentially I will stick to this setup here that I had drawn out from $6.60 to $8.51. But if we come down a little bit lower, a little bit closer to the 50 moving average, I might change that setup and go for something like this. And we'll do something like this here. Oh wow, that's a 7% stop loss. But it's fine because I have here almost 40% to the upside. Guys, such trades I'm only taking with maximum 4x leverage, not more. So because it's enough, you know, if we go up to $7.64, I'm making here 140%, and I'm not trading with small money. You know, I trade with like $15,000, $20,000 on this. So if I make 1.6 times my money, which is $32,000 on that specific trade, I'm happy with that, you know, so that's fine, you know, so I'm definitely good with that on one single trade. So you should see that the same way, you know, so just be aware of that there is kind of like a big stop loss on that, you know, 7%. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. I think I never had so many people within, what was that now? Started 40 minutes. Within 40 minutes, I never had on a live stream over 1,300 views. So thank you so much for that. And guys, stay smart, make a lot of money, and tune in also again tomorrow. And don't forget, also smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm gonna see you then.